Alright, let's do this. It's Christmas time is here. This is alright. I made a couple potteries. Which is already twice as many as I did last year. Oh, I need to warm up my car before I get into it. It's only 24 degrees out. And I know what you're thinking. You're like going, oh, you did twice as many. And it's like, oh, yeah, I did one last year. And now I've done two. I don't know if I'm going to do very many more. I did put... when I did the orcs and the popularity started waning, I did put them back on the table. They're not going to be really on the table. I'm only going to do it for people I really like. And it is a play favorites type of deal. But yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. Doing the cues. Is for people I like. And so on and so on and so on. So it's definitely going to be people I like. And they're after me. No. Oh, I have to be so fucking cold. Shaking in my boot. Once again, I was going to do a stream at last night, do a live stream, and didn't do it. Thought about it a lot. Actually, last night probably wouldn't have been good. Just like my jaw was like, felt like somebody punched me. To have fun, interview people who are streaming, got to catch up on my anime. We are in the final season of My Hero Academia, which I think is amazing because normally, like when a show hits a climax like it did, and it ends, and the hero wins, and this, they don't get into like all of the aftermath of the reconstruction and stuff like that, which they are now which that's what they're doing now with the final season. It's kind of like our way of saying goodbye, and I think that was really nice. I know that they're kind of opening the door for other things like vigilantes and stuff like that. It was a nice tribute. You got to see Deku go from being quirkless all the way to now being quirkless again. He's gone full circle. I'm one of those weirdos that still maintains that he had an identify quirk where he could identify people's quirks, how they worked and stuff like that, and he might have even had a mimic quirk where he can mimic them to a certain degree. But definitely the man had analysis, and when they were testing him for his quirk, that doctor who worked on All for One. And he sold people's quirks. So, probably thought that this was a good quirk to have. The only reason I don't think they're ever going to go in that direction is because, one, they're at the finale and they haven't really mentioned it, and two, it would have played a pivotal role going forward. But it would have been kind of nice that, the ability that he always had, with his journals and stuff like that, was the part of the quirk that when they pulled it out of him, they didn't take it all. Because it's the human part of it. It's not the quirk in front of him. I thought it was pretty cool that All for One gave Decay. I wouldn't have even thought that. But yeah. Pretty cool stuff. And like Fairy fairy tale I'm sad to see it end. This reason I'm even talking about anime right now, especially this part about it, is because it was something that I was very kind of upset with people graduating. And I think it's because it was being tossed around as the catch-all for somebody leaving, and especially somebody basically getting fired. For breaking their TOS. Which is very different than what Bishoujo did, which was they broke their TOS with their talent. It's one of the hard things, one of the more difficult things that happens. I have to admit, I would never want to be like a Hololive or a Bishoujo. I would love to do it. I would love to protect talent and creative people. It would kind of be my honor, but the logistics of it just doesn't make sense, because if everything goes right, if you do everything right, you're the villain. You're taking advantage of the talent, you're taking too much money, all that stuff. If everything goes wrong, and things are going to go wrong, you're not going to have enough money to pay your staff. You're not going to be able to do the protections that you offer. Venues are going to close. And so it's bad either way. And yeah, the best scenario is to be the villain. You know, acting like you're taking advantage of the talent. And it'll make you a lot of money. It is one of the things that Bishoujo tried to not oh, and just so you know, once you're the villain, you won't escape it. Bishoujo had a nice reputation of being the good guy and, you know, giving their talent their this, and they signed the contracts, and you have the ability to walk away, and you get to take all of your properties. people called that graduating at the time. It's not graduating. You're not going on to become something else. It's basically just transferring schools. I definitely think that the world is scary, and having a mechanism in place that protects the talent, the creatives, the content providers, is absolutely awesome. I know that even when they had their first round of people fleeing Bishojo, I mean it should have been a sign, but I know one of their big talent, which is Iron Mouse. I know that the main reason she stayed is because of that security. And I can definitely feel how, like Silvervale felt betrayed. One of the sad things about them giving up Iron Mouse is a reason why the company rolled. Them breaking their contract with them is the reason why Bishojo folded. Bishojo could not last without her. Which is like all they had to do was just keep her happy. I think if they express their concerns, if they really were, that they don't have enough money to pay the talent, pay the people in the operations. The people that make it all possible. If that was really going on, I think that they could have gone to Iron House and expressed those things. And I don't think she's the type of person that would begrudge them. She might be. That would be up to her. In fact, instead, they took that choice away, and then they stole from her charity. smart. Not smart at all. But yeah. Does it have to do with me? Absolutely nothing. Just I don't envy that. I don't envy that. Whoever thought that was a great idea, to start a corporation to run talent and basically thinking that it's basically minting money, which I guess it could be. I mean, HoloLive does it right. They actually create the characters and own the IPs, and if they want to make money on the merch and stuff like that, they can. If they want to give some of it to the talent, they can. Certain VTubers who were basically really popular and supposedly making millions of dollars don't even make a living wage, or don't even take home a living wage. That's insane. It's insane to me. time it didn't even tell me to keep my eyes on the road. It just told me to stay alert. Not a car in sight. I'm the only one here on the road. I don't know what I'm going to be doing for the 5th year anniversary. I want to kick off something. I'd love to do the dwarves. The dwarves is a really nice progression. It is really cool. I already have a being dwarf. And I can easily make a bunch of other people into dwarves and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be really honest. The orc special really kind of like deflated it all. I hyped it. I geared up. I was doing all the stuff that I needed to be doing. And then I basically had to beg people to join. And yeah, I am very fortunate that I have a lot of friends. I am very fortunate. I'm gonna be really honest with you. I messaged and DM'd what do you call it? Yeah, I messaged and DM'd I think 100 or so people. In the end, I got about 35. Which basically added to my original 5 people who signed up without too much prodding. One of the people signed up for somebody else. So they, out of the 5, there really is just 4 people that actually made the request. One of the people was just basically a request for. Like, this is how it is. And even of all the people that I basically DM'd and everything like that, I still had 2 people. Now, I'm going to make sure I got it right. Yes. I still had 2 people vouching for somebody else. So out of the original 40, it really was 37. That actually said, let's do this. I was gonna say that. And only 4 people actually signed up. When I made the request. And just so you know, Orcs was very successful. Yeah, the Orcs was very successful. And I just have to know that I'm like, I have to come to terms that I'm not very popular. And I have people filling my head all the time saying I'm good, saying I'm great, saying I'm amazing, saying I'm terrific and wonderful and stuff like that. But you watching this, that's what lets me know that I'm doing something incredible, that I'm doing something that nobody else is doing, that this is that you have decided to join me and become part of something that's bigger than all of us. And I love creating it. That's how amazing you are. When somebody tells me how amazing I am, I just kind of like go, yeah, but you don't really show it. And these are people I adore and and love, and I consider my friends. And they have their own lives, and they have their own things that they're doing, and their own craziness that's going on, just like I do. I can't be at their beck and call all the time. Why would I expect them to be at my beck and call? Cool beans, comments below. Doesn't have to be cool beans. It can be whatever you like. Glad you're here. I really am. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you have a fantastic time doing it. Right? And before I go, this is going to be Communication Skills 2 is going to be the last of it. We are going to change this to a yearly starting January 1st, and it's going to be Communication Skills 2026, and that's going to kick off the whole thing. And at the end of the year, it's going to be that many videos. This way it's going to still be under 400, which is where I want to be. Yeah, so 4 years of doing this, and it's been amazing. And yeah, so we're gonna kick off. 3 years of doing this have been amazing, and we only ended up with 2, but we will kick off there, and hopefully it starts at 800. I'm going to continue counting it up because that seems to surprise more people than anything else. But yeah, we're going to make the playlist into the years. All right, that's it. So have a good one. Take care, and I will talk to you hopefully tomorrow. All right, bye.